Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so it's kind of a tradition. Every time I'm sick, I make a video because this is what kind of occupies my time when I'm feeling like not the best. So, as usual, it is the 8th of March today. And today, we're going to be reviewing the Custom 53 Cadillac. However, you can see there's a little bit of difference in between these two. Let me just adjust. Alright, there you go. So, the first one on the right, you can see hot selling rail cars. That's Hot Wheels Flame. And it cost 10 ringgit when I bought it. And the top of the car is chopped off, I think. Right. Okay. Hot selling rail cars. Standard warnings on the back. This is a Custom 53 Cadillac. Hot Wheels. Blue compared to the orange. Rod Squad 3 Plus. We'll look at the back together. Standard warnings, fair enough. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I have another one, Chevy Impala. Gonna crack this one open as well. This, ladies and gentlemen, I like myself some lowriders. Very nice, very nice. I really appreciate that. Okay, but this car is not the focus for today. The focus for today will be these two, the Bootleg, which costs 2 ringgit less than this. In Malaysia, where I'm at, Hot Wheels right now cost about 12 ringgit. Right, sorry. I'm not feeling that well. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the closer look at the Hot Wheel. Full stop. Says hot selling rail cars. Actually has pretty good rims. The back, the top, sides, top side. Yeah. So there are some pegs on the bottom. We'll have a closer look at them. Let's pop this open. Oh. It was actually broken. Fair enough. Alright. There you go. Look at that suspension flex. I like it. Okay. So here's a closer look at the packaging for the Custom 53 Cadillac. It is a lot better, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. The decor on this is still the old type. This is the 2024 with the stripes question mark going out from here. There's a Hot Wheels logo, RTX on graphics compared to the older RTX off graphics. I really like the new graphics on the new packaging. Whoever's doing the card art, banger work, keep it up. Okay, here's the front, here's the top, here's the back, no pegs. Let's pop it open. Look at that, nice and clean. Not as much suspension flex compared to this. That's the front wheel staying on the ground. Yep, that's the front wheel staying on the ground. Okay, so let's have a closer look. First thing you'll notice, right? The orange, which is the Bootleg, does not have a windshield. Look at that. Wait. Alright, look at this. There is no windscreen. With the original there is a windscreen. I can tap it with the pen. So that's the first thing that I noticed. Second thing, if you look at it from the top, there's definitely, look at the metal bed on this thing. That's a full bed. This is a fully plastic bed with fully plastic wheel arches. Well, there's more metal on this one. Pinstriping, of course, on the original is, let me just zoom in. That is a heck of a lot tighter compared to the bootleg, which is very obviously starting to flake off. To be fair, the Hot Wheels one is flaking off as well. You can see like the pinstripes aren't really tallying up. Sorry, having a bad day. Alright. Let's check them front bumpers with the teeth. Alright. On the Hot Wheels, right, the teeth are much better formed. Hold up. Yep, there we go. I'm trying to get it to zoom in. The teeth are just a little bit better formed compared to the teeth on the bootleg. However, if you give them to a person who's not paying attention, like a little kid, I doubt they'll actually notice the difference. The windscreen's a more obvious difference. Like in the Hot Wheels, you can see that the detailing is much more severe. Like the two front daggers. I don't know if they're called daggers. Like the lights that protrude out at the front, those daggers, they are like much longer and much more pronounced than the daggers on this thing, which are just boing boing. Not that satisfying, you know? And then there's so much like chrome on the bottom of this compared to actual lack of chrome on the bottom of this. All this is metal up to here, but you get a rear chrome trim piece, which is actually much appreciated. Look at that. Look at that beautiful rear end. Alright. Okay. You can tell I'm kind of like not really healthy right now. I'm sorry about that, but this is just what I do to pass the time. If I were healthy, I would be at my 9 to 5, honestly. And I wouldn't be able to record this for y'all. So, yeah. And also one more thing to look at. Check out the stance on these things. By eyeball, the bootleg's a little taller. And it has a little worse paint. Let me zoom out. Look at that, side by side, front to back. Of course, on the Hot Wheels, you can see the details. All that's pretty clean. Very nice. And on this thing, excuse me, at least the rims are satisfactory. The rims are Matchbox bootleg rims, I presume. If you look at them in the light. Eight spoke deep dish, classic rims. Very nice. On the back, same thing. However, if you look at the underbelly, this is where it starts to deviate. No names on the bootleg, screws, and 2 center pegs for affixing to a display. On the Hot Wheels, you don't get center pegs for affixing to a display. You just get the name, you just get your rivets, and you get a little bit of underbody detailing. 2008 copyright, custom 53 Cadillac. Very beautiful design. This, on the other hand, there's no windscreen. I'm kind of pissed about that. Never mind. Could be worse. Not the worst bootleg I've ever seen. This is it. Next to a McDonald's. So this is a McDonald's Drift Star, I believe. Very nice. Custom by a friend of mine. Thank you very much. Since this is a bootleg, this is a McDonald's. We'll compare the size side by side. A little bit smaller than a McDonald's. It comes at the same price of a Happy Meal. But honestly, how much are Happy Meals nowadays? Cheapest one's like 10 ringgit, right? So you'll be either getting this or this with food. And honestly, right, if you gotta ask me, it depends on my mood. This is pretty neat. And this is obviously quite low quality. I mean, you can bash this around. Fair enough, you can bash this around, even as pulled back. There you go. This one on the other hand is pretty flimsy. I like the lack of, I like the suspension articulation on this thing, like that. But honestly, compared to the original is just so much heavier, so much better than this one. I'm sorry, but the price difference, this is 10 ringgit, this is now 12 ringgit. The price difference is what really annoys me, right? Because if you ask me, this would be a 6 or maybe 8 ringgit car. Since this is 12 ringgit right now, this would be maybe a 6 or 8 ringgit car. But yeah, this is a 10 ringgit car and this is a 12 ringgit car. To be fair, you gotta contend with hunters. I am one of them as well. I do scout locations and all that stuff. But yeah, that's the thing. This thing is a much better deal, and if you're smart on Shopee, you can actually get them quite cheap. This, I don't know, depends on my mood. Sometimes I'd rather have that than this, because with that I get some food. With this, I don't get food. With this, I also don't get food, but I get much higher quality for 2 ringgit extra. So, ladies and gentlemen, which one would you rather have? Sound off in the comments below. For 10 or 12 ringgit, would you rather have the original? Would you rather have the bootleg? Or would you rather have the wildcard McDonald's car with a Happy Meal? For about 10 ringgit, you can get 3 of these. So, which one would you pick? Sound off in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for the honking, and I'll see you next time.